FM 1510 AM WGKB Waukesha and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. Bringing you his authentic perspectives on important topics.
They live in suburbs together. They live in the city together. They hang out together, all in the same family. We're the only idiots that fight because we want our voice to only be on one side. Like, does that even make any sense? And when the side loses, you lose everything. They, on the other hand, have a voice no matter what because somebody that looks like them is always in control.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point.
Well, it's just a skewed system.
Of course it is.
It's a lot of judgment.
But answer my question, though. Should we let people go? Should we let people go? Like, let's just forget about bail altogether. And if your neighbor commits a homicide and kills people up, if you kill people and they next to you and you just let them come back and live right next to you, they can live upstairs from you. Let them come in your house.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point. This is the best radio show in the state of Wisconsin. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth and The Truth app.
Now, he's the mayor of the city of Milwaukee. He's a young man. Give him a chance. I only complain about things that I care about. What I want you to do is pretend like I'm in St. Louis. And all I'm asking the mayor and the Common Council president and the Common Council, show me.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is Dr. Ken Harris.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. That's how I feel. It's Monday. It's Monday. It's Monday. It's been a long weekend. And so I got an article in the newspaper. And well, I thought I'd read it. It's by someone I consider a friend, Tom Jens, and it's in the Shepherd Express, one of my favorite newspapers. I like to read it and chop it up and talk about it. And so if you haven't had a chance, make sure you go to, I don't even know if it's out yet. I mean, like it looks like it got released like not too long ago. So at 3:08, I printed it off. I saw my email. I said, "Oh, let me check this out." And it talks about, the title of it is "Thinking About Milwaukee, a City of Two Neighborhoods." And so I liked the article and I didn't like the article. And so I sent Tom a text. Because unlike other people, you know, some people say, "I don't want to blindside you," and then they blindside you, right? Or they say, "Well, I want to talk about something," without looking at you or saying anything to you, instead of saying like, "Hey, I want to talk about something you said or something you did or something you wrote." But anyway, I digress. So I went through the article and I read it a couple times, and I sent Tom a text and I said, "I'll be talking about your article today. Some good, some bad, LOL, critical analysis." Now, before you scream and holler, I've lived here since 1993. And I think I've lived here long enough. And let me give you the exact. I've lived here for 32 years as of April 12th of this year. As of April 12th, so technically I've been here 11 years, 9 months, and some change. Well, no, as of tomorrow, as of 2 days from now, it'll be 11 years, 11 months. So I think I kind of know Milwaukee, even though people constantly remind me that I'm not from here, which is why I always mention Chicago when they get mad, which I don't really understand that, but anyway. Subtitle says it's impossible not to notice the stark contrast between, you ready? Whitefish Bay and Central City. So my question, using buzzwords, Central City, is that the black neighborhood? Okay. And me and Tom are cool. We have coffee every few months or so. So this isn't a bashing or anything like that, just so you all know. So don't get off. It starts out one Saturday morning a while ago. I decided to explore two neighborhoods on foot. Starting in Whitefish Bay, the charming village that borders Lake Michigan. The street here is seen pulled from a postcard, and he goes on with this flowery, description. 85% of Whitefish Bay residents are white, most upper middle class, and they, ran into people, how you doing? How you like living in Whitefish Bay? That kind of stuff. He made note of saying, in Whitefish Bay, most people earn their living in professional jobs, including management, healthcare, sales, business, and the law. According to village data for 2024, the average household income, got it? The average household income in Whitefish Bay is $208,063. According to Redfin, the average cost for a house is $531,000 in December of 2024, and most residents own homes. He said 15 minutes later, I was walking streets in the heart of the predominantly black inner city, something I hate to use inner city because that's like code for black. Sidewalks were cracked and uneven, curbs broken, alleys pockmarked with debris. Once the pride of European immigrant families of past generations, colonial revival houses show their age with peeling paint, sagging sides, and swayback porches. Some homes were carefully maintained, others abandoned, standing as reminders of what history can do when a city turns its back. Here and there are makeshift memorials for the deceased victims of gun violence or car crashes, stuffed animals, framed photos, candles, and personal memorabilia. Yet here the atmosphere showed energy. So he compared Whitefish Bay and said that, they had all the pretty plants and lounge chairs quietly on porches, and the absence of children on the sidewalk felt odd. I only glimpsed them in backyards. Noise beyond the occasional passing car was slim to none. Black Lives Matters signs were absent, George Floyd having faded away. I find it interesting that he found, the kids were waving back to him and laughter and kids running back and forth and playing and having fun. Churches dotted certain corners, mostly Baptist, their steeples reaching skyward as if seeking peace for the community below. He asked the question, what does it mean to grow up white versus black in Milwaukee? Well, first, I think that's a loaded question because what does that mean? So going back, in the black community, Whitefish Bay is known as White Folks Bay. So everybody here calls it White Folks Bay. Number two, Tom, why didn't you compare it to, say, the Northwest Side, where there is a number of black people living in upper middle class housing? I just wonder. And the carefully curated idea of safety, satisfaction, and hope I'd seen earlier in Whitefish Bay felt like an untenable dream here, where the high school graduation rate is 60%, where the community might be classified as a food desert, healthy food choices miles away, where the poverty rate is nearly 32%. Walmart and Target are out of range, and in the city, there are 3,000 city-owned vacant lots and hundreds of vacant homes. Most show their seclusion in the central city. Well, I think if you had stratified this by income, I think you might have had a different story when you compared neighborhoods that were predominantly black, because there are some predominantly black, middle class, and in some cases, upper middle class neighborhoods here in the city of Milwaukee. And so he talked to, and so I wish he had spoken to more people from Whitefish Bay, but he spoke to Black activist Tracy Dent. And while I've known Tracy for a while, he doesn't represent all Black people. He's just one person. He spoke to Chantel Carson, longtime inner city resident. Tragically, violence has touched her own extended family in the last several years. She's lost 5 close relatives to murder in 4 separate instances. I feel for her. And I think that for many residents in the city of Milwaukee, that is a personal, ever-present fact. He talked to Vaughn Mays, Ed Hennings. But here's my question. Where are all the other middle class and upper middle class people that live in Sherman Park and the Northwest Side? Where are they? I think it's unfair to compare Whitefish Bay to the inner city. Why didn't you compare it to Brown Deer? It's a significant number, and I don't know the exact numbers. It's a significant number of Black people that live, thrive, work, run, and administer Brown Deer, the city of Brown Deer. I wonder. WTMJ TV Black News reporter Gideon Verdon Williams lives in the inner city. He heads Clean Up Milwaukee, a block-by-block cleanup undertaking by the residents. See, again, this is me speaking. I'm only speaking for me. Whatever happened to the city doing what they're supposed to do? Well, he said, Mayor Cavalier Johnson once told him, I spent my formative years in neighborhoods well known for poverty, violence, and incarceration. As a teenager in zip code 53206, that just drives me crazy. Anyway. I'd walk North Avenue and think this is dangerous. Buildings boarded up, windows busted, and the businesses that are open aren't run by Black people. As a young Black man, that experience seeps into your psyche. County Executive David Crowley started off behind the 8 ball. Until age 10, he and his brothers were raised in an old house on 23rd and Burleigh. A master electrician, his father had paid the city $1 for the house and made repairs. Both his parents struggled from drug addiction. And so the issue I'm having with this article is that when you find Black people to talk about, it's always negative. As if every Black person in the world struggled with poverty and shooting and gangs, and while a good number did, there's a significant number that didn't. You compare things between the two, like family structure, and much of those things were destroyed by the federal government. Many of the things that are happening today is because of the federal government, not Donald Trump's federal government, a Democratic government under Kennedy and Lyndon Baines Johnson. So what are we talking about? I don't understand. Values, traditional values generally oppose divorce, same-sex marriage, and marital cohabitation, all threats to the family structure. A feel-good family movie often illustrates this paradigm: a married heterosexual couple, happy children, dog, living in a suburban cul-de-sac. And that's because we are not in control of the narrative of America. Honesty, fidelity, faith, work ethic, parental authority, religion in your daily life, those are things that are in many of the Black families that I know. And I'm pretty sure you'll find significant dysfunction in Whitefish Bay. And it's like there are two extremes that are getting compared, which is unfair, I believe. It's unfair. He said, history forms cultures. I thought back to my recent visit to America's Black Holocaust Museum on North Avenue. There I saw a huge display that divided 3 time periods in a kind of vast pie chart. Slavery, 1619 to 1863. Jim Crow, 1863 to 1965. Civil rights, 1965 to the present. To comprehend the reality that one human group had to spend 250 years as slaves, well, and then it goes on and it didn't print out for the rest of that sentence. White families often live the nuclear model. Fathers as breadwinners, mothers handling childcare even when employed. Children are raised to value independence. Urban black families, however, often rely on extended family and community networks. Some do, many don't. The majority of the people that I know, that I hang out with, because we all hang out with people in our own social strata and in our own economic strata, have children, mothers handle childcare even when they're employed. They also rely on extended family, community networks, and some of the single-parent households, they have good jobs, they're raising great kids, even though often they're led by mothers, and more common with grandparents, cousins, and aunts and uncles providing support. But isn't that what we're supposed to do? So when you compare those values, some things are just different. And it's okay. It's okay. But the question I have is there anything wrong with this? Is there anything wrong? In mainstream America, these are societal perceptions. Traditional white families are often idealized as symbols of stability. Urban black families are frequently subject to negative stereotypes and misconceptions. But I'm seeing some of this in this article. Even though it might be true, I don't think it's broad enough. Family structures that deviate from the traditional nuclear model are often pathologized, perpetuating harmful biases and ignoring the systemic inequalities that form racial bias. Well, people form racial bias. They decide to be racially biased. Just look at, and I'm going to talk about it in the next segment, the DEI. I'm going to tell you about an experience I had the other day when I spoke up and said something and the reaction people had to a sweatshirt that I had on. But he said the denouement has not been resolved. Family life can look different depending on history, society, and money. We've always known that. Research from the University of Milwaukee, UWM, shows that the city of Milwaukee has the highest poverty rate in the state. It also has the highest population, high unemployment for black men and major education gaps, the largest number of black people in the state of Wisconsin. And on top of that, only 25%, and then it goes on and it cuts off the whole thing. I guess they want me to read it in the newspaper. He ends the article by saying this: yet all these struggles are not about personal choices or culture, yet many of them are. And a granular look is going to show that as well, on both sides. Getting a hand up and a leg up in a white community is different from a black community. Getting a leg up and a hand up when your parents have it and your parents and your grandparents have it and your great-great-parents have it is different from when many of the people that are upper middle class today are first generation. He went on to say, they come from years of discrimination and unfair systems. Can community life in America evolve into compatibility? Milwaukee is a beautiful city, I agree, and a safe place to live, I agree, depending on the color of your skin. I agree and disagree. Have we not evolved? Or maybe is it not possible for one culture to fully understand another culture? Here's my question. Do we have to understand other people's culture? Black people have spent 250, 300, 400, how many years kowtowing to white culture? We have to talk the way you think we need to talk. We need to act the way you think we need to act. And now with DEI making a downward spiral, I'm starting to see white people act in a way that I haven't seen before, that now their racism and bias is overt. Once they thought they were better because they were white, they walk around like they know they're better because they're white. When we come back, I'm going to tell you a conversation I had, a very short, terse conversation I had with three white guys. in Germantown. And just like this article, and thank you, Tom, and we got to get Tom in. Got to get Tom in to talk about this article and talk about other things. We always have great conversations. And while we talk about this, I look at this article, I look at my conversation in Germantown, and I look at how now black and white people are interfacing. And honestly, I think this idea of understanding each other's culture and living together and singing Kumbaya, you know what that is? It's a beautiful lie.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
This is 1017 The Truth's Kyle Wallace, and I am Milwaukee. I take great pride in being a 414 boy and representing the city that I love. The great memories I have of going to Northtown Cinema to see movies with family and friends, to going to Capitol Court to see the Black Santa Claus, this city has helped shape me into the man that I am today, and I pledge to utilize my voice as a way to advocate for you in our community. Join the home of Milwaukee's realest conversations where you can speak your truth. We are the award-winning 1017 The Truth. Milwaukee Black Talk.
We expect our judges to be fair, impartial, to keep us safe. But Brad Schimmel cut plea deals with child pornographers. He blamed underage victims of sexual assault for their bad judgment. And Schimmel joined extreme MAGA Republicans in trying to ban abortion statewide, even for victims of rape and incest. Now he wants us to put him on the Supreme Court, where he could strip away our rights and be a rubber stamp for Donald Trump and Elon Musk. Brad Schimmel, dangerous, extreme, and unfit for the Supreme Court. Judge Susan Crawford knows right from wrong and has spent her life keeping us safe. Crawford protected nursing home patients from identity theft and fought for the rights of workers across Wisconsin. Crawford will always protect our right to choose and is the check and balance we need against Donald Trump and Elon Musk. On April 1st, Judge Susan Crawford for Supreme Court. Paid for by Power to the Polls Action Fund, not authorized by any candidate or candidate's agent or committee.
Life's better with American Family Insurance. Because whether it's a family road trip in your dream car or hosting a family reunion in your dream home, we help you feel protected so you can enjoy those dreams with peace of mind. Save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Ready to buy your first house, move into your forever home, or simply refinance? At Associated Bank, they've got you. With the right lending plan and guidance, you can achieve your dreams. Your financial goals are closer than you think, and Associated Bank is excited to help you reach them. Learn more at associatedbank.com/lending or ask a banker for details. Subject to credit approval, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Experience, knowledge, results. That's what really matters when you need help after a serious truck accident. You'll need a lawyer experienced in fighting and winning for people just like you. Gruber Law Offices has the resources, strong track record of success, and a team of experienced lawyers to take care of your needs. We've successfully helped people injured in big truck accidents for more than 35 years. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
I'm not a shy little girl, I'm a wizard. With a pearl in my hand, with a heavy dose of adrenaline, call me a chemical man. I'm not a shy girl, I'm a wizard. Do I have to say it again? I'm like a mystic
listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. So, I was in Germantown, and I'm watching at a sports place. I'm watching this. I think I was watching golf, right? Let me put my chair down a little bit. And so I was watching golf, and that Scotty Strickler, Haka Puka, whatever the heck is there. I don't even want to know. Don't even correct me because I don't even like him. And so this is the guy that was driving the car and trying to get to the golf thing and hit the cop with his car and wouldn't listen and all that, and then ended up getting arrested, right? And then they didn't press charges against him. And so I said, "Oh, is Scotty, whoever his name? Oh yeah, he's playing." I'm like, "I'm not watching it. I'm gonna go over here and because I think he's an idiot and I don't think he should." "Well, why do you think that?" One of the white guys spoke up, right? And it was two white guys there, and I've seen him before and spoke to him. Well, I had a sweatshirt on that said African American Museum of History and Life and whatever, the museum in D.C. And he looked at my. Now this is before I said something. He looked at my sweatshirt and went, "Huh." And I almost said, "Huh, what? You got a problem with black people, or you just got a problem with the museum? Which is it?" Right? Because white people have become bold now that they think, "Oh, we don't have to follow DEI. Well, your employee resource group, beep, your ERG, we're just going to cancel it." Well, did you really mean it in the first place? So all these places that tell you, "We want you to be yourself when you come to work," but you really can't be yourself when you come to work, because for you to be yourself and black, you got to act like me. And so I'm sitting here, and I said, "Oh, Scotty?" He said, "Well, why don't you like him?" I said, "He should be in jail. He should be a convicted felon. He battered a police officer." "No, he didn't." "Yeah, he did. He apologized for it. He battered a police officer because he was late for a golf game. And you and I both know if it was a black guy, that basketball player in Milwaukee that y'all all said he did all these wrong things until you saw the video and found out he really didn't do anything wrong. Some white cops just jacked him up when they weren't supposed to and harassed them when they weren't supposed to. But again, when a black person is accused of doing something, we are held to a strict standard. Liability, crime, anything civil, you got to be perfect or they get rid of you. It happens in jobs. It happens in school. It happens in a community. So why is that? What is it? And then we compare rich upper class white to quote unquote black inner city black, and the two you pick, it's a boatload of white folks that's poor in Milwaukee. Talk to them. It's a boatload of white folks that are lower middle class, some with no teeth in Milwaukee. Why don't you go talk to them? See how they feel. Because I worked a lot with them on the south side of Milwaukee and a lot of them on the north side too. But the media perpetuates that. The media will avoid talking to a white person and talk to the worst dressed, speaking, talking black person because in their mind, that is what represents black people. I've never had the media come talk to me unless it was for a specific thing. But I've never been at a crime scene like that. I was usually working it. They never seem to find the articulate black person. They find the person they think is going to represent black people, and it's never positive. Anytime you get a TV station like WISN, all of them is done. I'm not going to call WISN because I got friends that work over there, and they're a great station. Phenomenal station. But when you got TV stations that talk about fire safety in Milwaukee and they go to freaking Wauwatosa to talk to the fire department, what kind of idiocy is that? They are setting it up that they do not want you knowing or doing anything in Milwaukee. All their sponsors are from the suburbs. all their viewers are from the suburbs. They give weather updates for Belgium, Wisconsin. Are you kidding me? Mayville. So I get it. But until black people come in and start to control that narrative and run their own TV, start your own TV station. Let's get a black station here owned by Byron Allen and watch that. And if you can't, you get something like what? A Good Karma Brands, where Craig Kermison decides that I'm going to give a voice to people I perceive to not have a voice, an authentic voice, not a voice you have to follow because you got to vote this way. If you don't live here, if you don't do that, if you don't have here, you're not black. If you look at diversity at the truth, you actually have diversity. I get accused of being a Republican. Sherwin gets accused of being a Democrat, and everybody else is in between on the other side. I try to beat people up equally. And by the way, we need to get the woman that's running for Wisconsin Supreme Court, we need to get her on, and we need to get Brad Schimmel on. So we can start asking them about DEI. Start asking. Now, I'm not necessarily for 100% DEI. And all the white people that kept complaining about DEI kept talking about they kept talking about they have issues with equity, right? And so we just don't want equal outcomes. You mean you want white people to always be in first place? Is that what I'm hearing? Well, I think equity, they want equity in outcomes. Well, why not? If you live in a house in a neighborhood, I should be able to live in a house in a neighborhood. That's equity and outcome. I should be able to buy what you buy. I should be able to live where you live. I should be able to go to school where you go to school. That's equity and outcome. How I learn, how I work, how I grow, how I take care of it is on me. But when we talk about equity, we don't want anything you have at all. I don't want to dress like you. I don't want my hair to be like you. I don't want my face to be like you. I don't want my glasses to be like you. I don't want my house to be like you. I want it to be like me. I want it to reflect me, my culture, my upbringing, my life. Because I know the majority of you didn't grow up with a silver spoon in your mouth. You grew up and struggled, and your parents threw you out the house at 18. And those are some of the reasons why you excel. Those are some of the things black parents didn't do and why sometimes their children don't excel. Because they feel like they have to give them a help because nobody helped them. Say what? Yes, but and so it's just disturbing. Like at some point, you just check out. But then the flip side to that, we'll talk about after the break. 833-212-1017 is the number. Your thoughts. The flip side to that is many times you do things black and it don't really turn out. The quality is not there. But again, you know what I think that comes down to? Black people not being supportive and black people not being patient when black people do things. They expect perfection from each other, and that's a problem. I watch white people help each other on the sly, funnel money and co-own everything on the sly, but they'll never tell you they help build it, help own it. It'll be like one person. Oh, yeah, it's mine. And it's not. It's like 6 people, 7 people, 8 people invest it, and then let the person do their thing. Black people need to start doing that. We need to start helping each other build our own businesses. And I'm not saying separatism. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that I shouldn't have to understand your culture. Unfortunately, I grew up in America where all the books inculcated things in me that I can't very well get out because it's been over 60 years. Loving America, downplaying slavery, pretending like riots didn't happen, all that. And now, with the death of DEI as a policy, they're going to whitewash books like you would not believe. Therefore, we need to write them, write our own. And if you can't get them in the schools, get them into the houses. Start to create a list, like I've started, of books that black people need to read. By the time they're 30, they need to read these books so they understand exactly what the world is like. Otherwise, we're going to continue having what? A beautiful lie. And now with traffic, here is Debbie Lazaga.
Still seeing quite a ride on northbound 43, leaving the Marquette interchange all the way up to Capitol Drive. The southbound side slowing from Capitol Drive down to Locust, and then from Fond du Lac Avenue down through the Marquette. Westbound 94 slowing down from 25th Street all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Tonight, mostly clear, breezy, mild, a low of 40. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, cooler, breezy with a high of 44 early, and into the upper 30s by the afternoon. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 101.7 The Truth.
And that is Dr. Ken's Truth on the new 101.7 The Truth. Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Natural gas is a clean, reliable, and convenient source of energy delivered directly to you through underground pipelines. The pipeline system has an excellent safety record, but there are clues that can help you identify a potential hazard. If you smell the strong odor of rotten eggs, hear an unusual hissing sound, or see blowing dirt or debris, it could be a natural gas leak. Leave the area immediately and call We Energies at 800-261-5325.
We Energies. People you can trust. Energy you can depend on.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer. Our policy is to provide equal opportunity employment, development, and advancement to all current and potential teammates. If you are an organization that maintains a job bank, provides employment information, or gives job referrals, you may request to be placed on the station's mailing list for future career opportunities. To learn more about careers at Good Karma Brands, please email careers@goodkarmabrands.com.
This is your Versity Blood Center of Wisconsin Community Impact Moment on 101.7 The Truth.
And what are some of the ways that you're inspiring people? Because, you know, one of the biggest opportunities, in particular in the African-American community, is access, exposure, and awareness.
For Versity Blood Center of Wisconsin, we've been here 76 years.
Wow.
And our mantra is saving the lives you love. So if someone you love needs a blood transfusion and they're in any hospital in Southeast Wisconsin here, that blood's coming from us. And so we're trying to make sure that we're communicating that, because I think folks maybe don't understand that blood can't be manufactured. And summers are always tough because schools are out and we collect about 20 to 25% of our blood from schools. Mm-hmm. So it's always a day-to-day struggle. We say that the blood that's on the shelves is the blood that saves lives. And a lot of times people are compelled to donate when something bad happens. And our mission and our job is to educate folks so that we can get ahead of the curve and keep 3 days of inventory on the shelves. Mm-hmm. So we're in a decent spot right now, but we're on the streets every day trying to inspire people to join our mission. One of our big projects that we're proud of is Versity on King, which is part of the Thrive On collaboration in the Gimbel Schuster building on Martin Luther King Drive. And next year, we're going to open a destination center there. It'll be a blood donation center, but it'll be more than that, because we've realized that we can't be transactional with our relationships in the Black community. We need to do things that are intentional and that show that we're there to stay. But the reason that we're there is because not enough people that look like us donate. And so for disorders like sickle cell disease that disproportionately affect us, the race can matter. But I like to say that, you know, Black folks have a superpower in their blood. 44% of Black blood donors will have this rare trait that makes their blood more likely to be able to be a match for a sickle cell patient. And that 44%, like that is way higher than what we would find in other races.
To make an impact by donating blood in your community, visit versity.org today.
This Associated Bank Sports Update on the award-winning 1017 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Kyle Wallace. The Milwaukee Bucks were in action last night as they hosted the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Milwaukee Bucks were looking to get back on the winning side after a defeat to the Orlando Magic on Saturday night. It went back and forth, and then in the fourth quarter, the Cavs took off, going on a 13-0 run to beat the Milwaukee Bucks 112-100. The Bucks were led in scoring by Giannis Antetokounmpo, who dropped 30 points. Now the Bucks travel to Indiana to take on the Pacers tomorrow night. Tip-off is set for 6:30, and you can hear that on our sister station, 620 WTMJ. Also, NFL free agency has begun today, and the Green Bay Packers have been silent. Crickets, no big news coming from the Green Bay Packers at all. This True Sports Update on the award-winning 1017 The Truth were brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams. Member FDIC.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. Talking text line. Dr. Ken. I'm sorry, it says, hey, Dr. Ken from Good Life. What's the name of the artist who was playing back from commercial break? I happen to like your taste in music as well as our program, your program content. Let me see. I got to check my Spotify because I have a special Spotify like list that I use, and every time I hear a song I like, I just throw it in there. And the crackjack effervescent producer will just boop pop it in. It's by Dora Jar, Dorajar, and it's called Wizard. A Wizard. Yep, it's called Wizard, Wizard. So, anyway, 833-212-1017 is the number. Mari said, Dr. Ken, can you please direct me to your book list you talked about? I got to dig it out, but I do have, well, you know what? While I'm sitting here, I love live radio. Let's do this. Let me see if I can see if I can search. See if I can look for my book list. Let's see. Not bookist. List. And if I don't have it on this computer, I have it in the cloud because I'm, one of those weird people that pretty much collects and keeps everything. And that's one thing I love about it. But it's important to remember that there are books. And how many books should I get? 30 for 30? 30 books that you should read by the time you're 30? Yeah, let's do that. Because if it takes you more than 2 months, 3 months to read a book, we gotta go back to school. I'm just saying. I got like 180 to 100 and something books on a list. And I think what I might do is just throw it in the talking text, and then I'll give you a keyword. And if you want a copy of the list in PDF, you can just send the keyword and it'll shoot it to you by text. We'll have to do that. So maybe in the next break, I'll look for it, and then I'll find it and do that. It just disturbs me. Some of the things that are starting to happen. We're not going anywhere. Black people are not going anywhere. We're going to use the same Constitution to help us that you used to hurt us. The same 5th, 6th, and 14th Amendments we're going to use in our stead. So that if we're actually American citizens, which we are, then it's going to work for us too, which means we need to make the system work for us. Because right now the system is built on money. And when you're middle class and upper middle class, many of the things that affect black people on a regular basis does not affect us. And that's just the way it is. This nonsense of telling people, and yes, I said it's nonsense, this nonsense of telling people they don't need to go to college is idiotic. Go into the trades and then go to college. Get the degree in business. Get the 2-year degree in business. Go to college. Because that will be the last bastion of holding people back. They'll flip back to, oh, you need a college degree. And by then, it'll be too late. Black men are already late starters. I am a perfect example of being a late starter. If you got any comments, 833-212-1017. I'm an example of a late starter. Went to college, transferred schools, ended up taking 6 years to graduate from college. I didn't care because I got out of the city of Chicago. I watched all of my best friends. There were, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4. There were like 5 or 6 of us that we all hung out, right? With the exception of one, me, none of them graduated from college. Not a one. They dropped out, started, playing table tennis, not going to class. And I said, you know what? If I stay at this commuter school, University of Illinois, Chicago, there are too many things between waking up and getting to school. Because if I go, I need to stay all day because I got class. But on those days when you only had one class and it was at 11 o'clock and you had to get there and you were late all the time because you had to wait on the bus and take the L, I saw the writing. And it was when I had to take a class because did I fail a class? No, I didn't take the class and I had to take it in summer school. And it was the last summer before I transferred to Illinois State. And I said, never again. I remember because it was trigonometry. And people thought I was crazy. You took a trigonometry class? Why are you taking a trigonometry class? Because I loved physics. And trigonometry and geometry was tied in to physics. And I absolutely loved it. And I ended up passing the class. Did fairly well in the class. But the best thing that I did? I left. I got on the train, rented a car, and went to Illinois State. Best thing I ever did in my life. I got out of the environment that I was in so that I can focus and work and go to class. And that's what I did, and I graduated. At 24 with a bachelor's degree. Not 22. So you're already behind the cut. And then you what? And then you go work. Then you change careers. Then you go back and get a second bachelor's and a master's and a PhD. And so I didn't get my PhD till I was 51 years old. 40? Trying to remember. Anyway. Think about that. We're just trying to get you to speed it up to do it all now. Talking text line. That one guy said, good evening, Dr. Harris, Dr. Ken Harris. Good evening, Truth. I'm a dropout. I didn't make the cut. That doesn't mean you didn't make the cut. You didn't make it in the right place. Somebody said, oh, we talking about trig? I should head out. Stop. I only tried for nursing. That doesn't mean you couldn't make it. That means you may not have been at the right school. You may not have been at a school. Like, I know schools that the line is so high, they make it difficult for black people to make it because there are no black people there. They're not teaching there, and they're not in school there. We all know the reason why many times white people thrive is because everywhere they go, there are white people there. So they never feel not supported. They never see anybody that doesn't not look like them. But black people are the same way. So I would say if you're going to change and nursing was your drive, see, I'm wired like this. No matter what, if it was my drive and I started it, I got to finish it. I failed at very few things because I refused to give up. Now, I might have ditched it after I got it. I might have ditched it after I was done, but something in me is wired that if you're going to start this, you need to finish it. You need to have it so that you can attach it to whatever it is that you're doing so you can move forward. And you have to have that tenacity. You have to have that drive. Otherwise, you're wasting your time. That one guy said, I didn't pursue, but I am a successful landscaper. Then go to school for, what is it? What's the ergo something that you go to school for to be a landscaping and grass and all that stuff? Be the best person you can possibly be at what you do. Make people think about you when you do it. Oh, yeah, him, that thing. Because bottom line, if you're going to be held to a higher standard and if you're going to be held to perfection, you may as well meet it. Because I'm going to tell you, when you win and you get it and you're successful, you know what you're going to find out? You don't need nobody else.
And that is Dr. Ken's Truth on the new 101.7 The Truth. Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Truth Nation, it's your boy Tory Lowe, and I need to let you know the award-winning Tory Lowe Show can now be streamed live on YouTube every day from 1 to 4. I am now bringing all the smoke on YouTube every single weekday. I need you to go to YouTube right now and subscribe to 101.7 The Truth and check out the award-winning Tory Lowe Show live every afternoon. Milwaukee Black Talk is now streaming live on YouTube. Now that's powerful.
This is your Planned Parenthood Advocates of Wisconsin Minute.
So Black women's leadership needs to be prioritized. That means a whole lot of things, but it includes a message for white women, which would be, it'll be wise for you to take our lead. We've already demonstrated everything there is to the world about who we are. We shouldn't have to keep doing that over and over again. The reality is that there are times when we got to muster up the energy to do some things we don't want to do, but I don't want that to be commonplace for me, and I certainly don't want it to be commonplace for other Black women. There's often this message that we need to stay strong because there are people depending on it. No, we need ourselves.
Yeah, you can't, what do they say? You can't pour from an empty cup?
Yes. And I even am hearing people say a lot more, you shouldn't pour from your cup at all until it overflows. And it's the overflow that you give. You keep the full cup for yourself.
This has been your Planned Parenthood Advocates of Wisconsin Minute.
American Family Insurance is a lot like Captain America. He protects the world.
It's just doing my job.
And we help protect your dreams with amazing auto and home coverage. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com. And see Marvel Studios' Captain America: Brave New World.
Suit up. We need to move.
In theaters February 14th. This film is not yet rated.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
I'm very familiar with Gruber Law Offices because they're always out in the community.
Gruber Law Offices are known to be honest, hardworking.
They're always involved in our neighborhoods.
Gruber Law Offices make our community a better place.
They are the best.
For nearly 40 years, Gruber Law Offices has helped people throughout Wisconsin. If you're injured, we're here to help. One call, that's all.
Wisconsin would not be the same without Gruber Law Offices.
Ready to buy your first house, move into your forever home, or simply refinance? At Associated Bank, they've got you. With the right lending plan and guidance, you can achieve your dreams. Your financial goals are closer than you think, and Associated Bank is excited to help you reach them. Learn more at associatedbank.com/lending or ask a banker for details. Subject to credit approval, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
You are listening to Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. So, everybody want to know about the book list. All right, I'm looking it up. Come here, give a brother a break. I'm talking. Let me be typing while I'm talking. Let me just look it up because y'all going to drive me cray-cray until I find it. Y'all know how y'all get. 833-212-1017 is the number. So, let me see. Let me look. Unfortunately, I got to look at my OneDrive because it's gonna take it's gonna take forever to find it. Because let me see, book list, search. So now we got to sit here and wait on live radio while. All right, I got a book list from a few years ago. I probably need to update it. But let's do this. Okay. Let's see. How many are even on here? Looks like it's about 100. Looks like it's about 100 books. And so, okay, so here's my question to you. Do the books have to be all black? Or can there be some books that I think you should read that are not written by black people? That's what I want to know. That's just me. So what I'll do is the books that I have, and it's not updated. So do you want the old one and then I update it? Or you want me to wait till it's updated? 833-212-1017. Shoot me a text and let me know which one. Because if that's the case, then I'll just shoot you the one that I have. I'll put that out. And then when I update it, I'll just do that. Cool? I think it'll be cool. Because then I can just upload it, put it in there, and then all you have to do is look at it and go, oh, okay, that's pretty cool. That'd be cool. Right?
Here at the new 1017 The Truth, we aim to be a staple in Milwaukee's Black community. We are committed to partnering with local organizations and supporting Black-owned businesses. We are proud to call Milwaukee our city and promise to be a positive reflection of our community. We look forward to celebrating Black culture and excellence with you every day as we make history and continue to uplift the voices in our city. Join us for the journey at the new 1017 The Truth, founded by Gruber Law Offices. Milwaukee Black Talk.
Milwaukee Black Talk.
And Joe Biden wasn't very controversial. He wasn't. Now, he might have done some things in his long, storied past, but if you all have been in the same line of work for 46 years, you probably have done some questionable things too. Joe Biden was a safe choice. He was a level of common sense. He was a level of stability. He was a familiar political commodity. Democrats don't have that right now. Democrats are caught with their pants completely down.
Listen to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes, weekdays from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m.
Truth Nation, let us talk our ish for a moment. There is no other station in the country where you get a front row seat to hear from some of the biggest names in politics, pop culture, and sports. People like Grammy Award winner John Legend.
Knowing that fight isn't over, knowing that we've got to stay motivated and stay inspired. Glory was a song that myself and Common wrote. Two brothers from the Midwest, from Chicago and from Springfield, Ohio.
Oscar Award winning actor Don Cheadle.
I know that we're the bright, shiny thing that sometimes gets the attention, but I would say don't listen to celebrities. You don't have to listen to us. Listen to yourself.
And President Donald Trump's son, Don Jr.
When did we have a strong economy? And I don't think anyone with a straight face can say right now. And the reality, when you look at it, it's not even voting for my father. Look at the team that's now surrounding him.
Tap into the award-winning and nationally recognized 1017 The Truth by downloading the Truth app and streaming us live at 1017 The Truth on YouTube. Milwaukee Black Talk.
Dear employer, my name is Phil Martin.
My name is Michael Raskovich.
Ronaldo Bird.
Zach Deiser.
I am writing to express my excitement at the opportunity to join your team.
As someone on the spectrum,
I possess a unique set of skills
that sets me apart from other candidates. My detail-oriented nature allows me to communicate complex ideas,
to break down data,
to have no fear in meeting new people.
I may communicate in ways that are different from what you are used to.
Structure, routine,
and clear expectation.
Help me do my best work.
My autism allows me to have a perspective that needs to be seen and heard.
It allows me to make the world safer and improve systems in ways others can't.
It allows me to bring people's inner worlds to life with my artwork.
My autism
will bring your team important insights.
Thank you for your consideration.
An autistic inclusive workplace is good for business. It's time to make a change. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/win.
All of your favorite 1017 The Truth content whenever you want. The Truth app has it all. The Truth is on 1017 and 1510 WGKB Waukesha, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. Bringing you his authentic perspectives on important topics.
They live in suburbs together. They live in the city together. They hang out together, all in the same family. We're the only idiots that fight because we want our voice to only be on one side. Like, does that even make any sense? And when the side loses, you lose everything. They, on the other hand, have a voice no matter what because somebody that looks like them is always in control.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point.
Well, it's just a skewed system.
Of course it is.
It's a lot of judgment.
But answer my question, though. Should we let people go? Should we let people go? Like, let's just forget about bail altogether. And if your neighbor commits a homicide and kills people up, if you kill people and they next to you and you just let them come back and live right next to you, they can live upstairs from you. Let them come in your house.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point. This is the best radio show in the state of Wisconsin. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth and The Truth app.
Now, he's the mayor of the city of Milwaukee. He's a young man. Give him a chance. I only complain about things that I care about. What I want you to do is pretend like I'm in St. Louis. And all I'm asking the mayor and the Common Council president and the Common Council, show me.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is Dr. Ken Harris.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. I'm just testing. Dun, 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 dun. I'm testing it to see. Excellent. All right. So let me finish this up while I'm sitting here talking to you. So what I'm doing is I'm creating the list of books. And so what you'll have to do is text 833-212-1, no, not yet, 1017 is the number, and I'll give you the keyword you'll have to use, and then it'll send it back to you. And it's all like running together, just so you know. So you're going to have to God, I love live radio. And I think what it'll do is kind of give you a start. 1, 2, 3. Oh, wow. I didn't know I had that many. All right. So some of the books are, all right. Still typing. And so there's going to be 4 total that you're going to be able to get. And all you'll have to do is text and say, I want blankety blank. And the book list was put together by 100 Black Men of Milwaukee. And we were able to do that. Well, wait a minute. Let me check. 1, 2, okay, so that would be 4. I can't count, y'all. I cannot count. I can do trigonometry. I can do advanced quantitative analysis, but 1 + 1, whoo, Lord. So what you would do is just text to 833-212-1017, one word, book list 1. BOOKLAST 1, the number 1, the number 2, the number 3, and the number 4. And what you'll get back is the list of all the books that I've been putting together. And what I'll do is just keep going. I'll keep building those lists of books and go through and send them to you so that you have an idea of some of the books, like The Souls of Black Folks by W.E.B. Du Bois, Think and Grow Rich, A Black Choice by Dennis Kimbrough, Think Big, Ben Carson, 13 Ways Looking at a Black Man, Henry Louis Gates. Like, so Tony Dungy, Understanding the Love. There's a lot of things in here that I think you'll be able to look at and read. Google it, take a look at it, go to Amazon or wherever you get your books at, and that's it. Talking text, I said, physics was the best to learn about, but as you said, it involved math, and I myself didn't get it. Well, you got to do it every day. It's like anything. It's like English. The way you learn how to talk, you simply do it every day, and guess what? Ta-da! You learn how to talk. Math is the same way. I attended Gateway College. Racine campus was cool. I know it ain't much, but it meant everything to me. I tried. I took my shot, missed, and so what? I make do with what I had left. You know what it is? I hate to tell you that one guy, but your calling was actually landscaping. Like, you always end up in the thing that drives you and makes you the best person that you are. So you're in landscaping. Guess what? Guess what Dr. Ken Harris can't do? If I had to put together all of my skills that I was really good at talking and really bad at landscaping, that's it. So I appreciate other people that can do things like that. I was decent at electricity and electronics. I understood it because it had to do with, math and stuff like that, physics and all that. I was able to do carpentry. I was okay, but not great. Anybody know why? Because those things that I had to pay attention to in detail that challenged me, it's like finding the last digit of pi. I would have been that guy. What are you doing? For the last 397 years, I've been trying to find the last digit of pi. I'm trying to calculate it, right? Because that's just what I do. And so when you say what you had left was landscaping, hey, that's garbage. Because you're probably in the top 10 of landscapers. Because I can't even stand in the line. I'm just saying. So when you know your strength, go for it. There's no occupation that's above or worse than anybody. I don't look at medical doctors and heart surgeons and brain surgeons as being smart. You should be. That's your job. Like, why would you be bad at it? Like, why would you be terrible at it? Oh, I'm mediocre. No, you should be good at what you do. But brain surgeon and talk show host, one isn't, like, they're not mutually exclusive. Like, they're not, one is better than the other. It's not. One makes more money. Right. They're probably divorced and don't know their kids, and they're working, 16-hour days and trying to hustle and live in a big house and living the life. So, knock yourself out. What are you willing to sacrifice to get what you want? That's the question that everybody needs to ask themselves. And one person's sacrifice is another person's, hey, I love it. So let's not get carried away. You should be a proud landscaper. Lord knows I ain't. I might have to call that one guy to come do some landscaping. I'm just saying. I'm in the process of buying a house, and I'm proud of it. You should be. Now, watch this. You ready? Pay off your house as soon as possible. If you are under 30, you should not have a mortgage by age 40. Whatever you have to do to hustle to get it paid off, because that's your bank. Now you got a couple of $100,000 in equity sitting there, cash. That's yours. You can get a loan on it, buy a business. You can get a loan on it and build a business, right? Use it to build something that's going to make you more money and build a bigger nest egg, right? That's all it is. But we don't necessarily look at that. We look at, what everybody else has, and then we want what everybody else has. Oh, I like theirs. So book list 1, BOOKLIST 1, 2, 3, or 4, and you'll get the list. Yep. The $1 Billion BET by Robert Johnson. The Inside Story by The Prince by Ed Machiavelli. Souls of Black Folks, W.E.B. Du Bois. So I think it'll help. I think maybe we'll start a Saturday morning show and talk about books. Maybe that's just me. I like. Can you tell I like books? I like to talk books. I like to talk about books. I like to talk all those things.
Number 5.
From JS Online, 2 people were shot and killed in Deneen Park. This story was recently updated. I'll have to see if anything about it was updated in the interim. Where to go? All right, let me do this. So the Milwaukee County Sheriff's Office confirmed 2 fatal shootings and 1 non-fatal shooting Sunday afternoon in Deneen Park, 69th and Vienna. Milwaukee County Sheriff's Office did not immediately respond to questions about the suspect. Around 4:19 Sunday afternoon, Sheriff's Office was notified of a shooting at Deneen Park. Milwaukee Police Department and Fire Department found a 19-year-old man suffering from fatal gunshot wounds. He succumbed to his injuries at the park. That's according to a news release from the Sheriff's Office. And later that evening, a 19-year-old man believed to be shot in the same incident walked into an area hospital seeking treatment for a non-life-threatening injury, according to that same release. 26-year-old man believed to be injured in the Deneen Park incident was discovered deceased in a vehicle. The location where he was found is unclear, and the investigation is ongoing.
Number 4.
This from WISN.com. A 16-year-old is in a hospital with serious injuries following a shooting early this morning. Milwaukee police say officers responded to a shooting near 14th and Dakota in the Polonia neighborhood in the South Side. Police say the 16-year-old was rushed to a nearby hospital for treatment of serious injuries, and they're still investigating the events leading up to the shooting. No one is in custody. If you have any information, contact the Milwaukee Police Department at 414-935-7360.
Number 3.
Now, you know it's getting warm outside, right? Like they were expecting, like the high now was like 65 or something, or 67, and it was like 65 earlier. So it was kind of hot outside. You know, I almost overdressed this morning. Then I let me check first, and I looked at it, and the high today is 67, and right now it's 66 degrees. So, needless to say, Ray and them outside. I know I was. I'm Ray today, by the way. We were all outside. This with Fox 6 News, a home contractor. The reason I said that is because it's starting to get warm out, and home contractors, you know, people be knocking on your door. Hey, can I help you fix up your house, lady? Young man, can I help you fix up your house? Well, this from Fox6Now.com, a home contractor with a trail of unhappy customers is actually going to jail. Customers said during the 1 year he was in business, he took thousands of dollars for work he never completed or never started. Katie Mathis in Milwaukee recalls living with a hazardous one-story drop in her floor in 2022, just steps off her kitchen. Mathis had 3 children in the house at the time, including a toddler. The drop went all the way to the basement concrete floor. It was totally scary and hazardous. In late 2021, the Mathis family paid contractor Nathan Noble Regina, R-E-G-I-N-A, of Nobleman LLC, more than $11,000 to renovate the newly purchased house in a historic Milwaukee mansion. The house was once owned by William S. Harley, co-founder of Harley-Davidson Motor Company. Mathis said it was a big fixer-upper. Mathis said after demolishing the back staircase and kitchen, Regina hit the brakes on the Harley Mansion job. After Regina's demolition crew left, she said little or no work was done. We kept giving him opportunities to come back, and he just wasn't showing up. I really feel like he was not an honest person. Shocking. Really? Eventually, the Mathis family hired another contractor to finish the work, And in May 2024, he was charged in Milwaukee County Circuit Court with 9 counts of theft by contractor, 6 felonies, faced dozens of misdemeanors for home contract violations and not providing lien waiver notices. So watch this. How much time you think he got?
Probation.
No, he didn't get probation. He's going to jail. In late February, Regina pled no contest to 13 of the charges, including 1 felony. Right? John Richards, circuit court judge, should be voted out of office the next time y'all vote. Sentenced Regina to 9 months at the Milwaukee County Community Reintegration Center in Franklin. He sentenced him to 3 years in prison, but the sentence was stayed. Dude should be in jail. But watch this. If it was a white guy, he gets 9 months. After he pled guilty, he pled no contest. And you gave him what? 9 months in jail? 3 years stayed? If he was black, they'd have threw him under the jail. And I hate saying that because you really don't know. But the many times I've seen black people in these predicaments, they get fines, they get prison time, they get hammered. Maybe because his victims were maybe his victims were white. Was that it? Maybe because he was a white guy? I hate to make it racial, but my goodness. But then again, it proves what? He had a good lawyer. Because the system, many times, you got a good lawyer, you get off. Richards was also ordered to pay a whole $60,000 in restitution to 9 of his former clients. One of those former clients is Dennis Spielvogel. In Milwaukee, Spielvogel said he got a second mortgage and took an extra job to pay Regina for a new attached garage with a second-day addition. Regina must pay him $28,000 in restitution. The awarded restitution, it's promising. I'm not going to count on it until I get it. And they got a picture of this guy. He was really confident in what he could do and really sold it well. Thought he could get away with it by closing his business and filing for bankruptcy. But here's the kicker. You ready? Did you check his references? Anybody that's been in business for a year doing something like contracting should be a person that's working with other bigger contractors to complete projects, and then he or she will take on a bigger project. You trusted him because he was a white guy. Black guy, they want to see your history. They want like 9 people to give you a reference. They want 16 people to, come on. And here's the kicker. Anytime you're in business like this and you need a down payment, you should probably not do business with them. Because that means they don't have the capital or the collateral to get a job done up front. You give me 50%, it's held in escrow. And then I go get what I need, and then as I complete the work, I get paid. Huh? That's just weird. That's just weird. And so sometimes people get victimized, and I get it. That is true. They got victimized. But sometimes you should be a little more, what's the word I'm looking for? Circumspect? You're not so trusting.
Number 2.
This from Politico.com. House Republicans are pushing a not-so-clean spending patch through September that would add billions of dollars for deportation, veterans' health care, and the military, and cut $13 billion in funding for non-defense programs. The Speaker, Mike Johnson, is telling Chuck Schumer on government funding, it's your move. The Speaker is planning to put the stopgap known as a continuing resolution, or a CR, on the floor tomorrow, and then send members home for recess before the Senate can send back any changes. Johnson is hoping to get the CR through the House without relying on Democratic votes. House Democrats leaders reaffirmed last Saturday that there were no President Donald Trump is publicly pushing GOP lawmakers to fall in line, but Johnson still got a few Republican holdouts. Representative Thomas Massey is a no, and we're keeping an eye on Representative Tony Gonzalez, who said yesterday on CNN that he'll make a game time decision. Brian Fitzpatrick said he told CBS he's undecided, and Corey Mills, well, they're also on the fence. But the spending patch can't go through the Senate without the help of at least 8 Democrats, given expected opposition from GOP Senator Rand Paul, and that's putting Schumer in a bind because the Senate Minority Leader and his House counterpart are both under pressure from within their party to do more to stop Trump and Elon Musk's unilateral cuts to federal programs. So it'll be interesting. Hakeem Jeffries' caucus can likely oppose the spending patch en masse without prompting a shutdown, but Schumer doesn't have the same cover. Senate Democrats will have to decide whether they'll push back on Trump and force a shutdown or stand down to keep the government running. Johnson's already trying to cast any lapse in funding as a Chuck Schumer shutdown. So we'll be waiting to watch that. They're going to fight again, but the bottom line is that we won't have to worry about layoffs. Government will shut down all by itself. Ain't nobody getting paid.
Number 1.
So you heard about this on JS Online, and I talked about it shortly. A Wisconsin school district paid $20,000 to settle a lawsuit filed by one of its teachers who was fired after failing to use a transgender student's preferred pronouns. Now, out of all the things to get fired of, right? It's not like you didn't call me my name, but I want to be a he, but I'm really a she, and you call me he. The Wisconsin Institute for Law and Liberty, a Milwaukee-based law firm representing conservative interests, sued in federal court last year on behalf of Argyle High School teacher Jordan Cernick. The teacher said the district tried forcing him to betray his religious convictions in violation of the First Amendment and other laws. Argyle School District in Lafayette County is in the southwestern part of Wisconsin. Court records show the case was dismissed last month. Superintendent Randy Refsland, R-E-F-S-L-A-N-D, confirmed the $20,000 settlement, saying the district's insurance company made a decision to settle for that amount. He declined to comment any further. Cernick said the issue began in 2022 and administrators made a policy change to be more inclusive of identities of other heterosexual males and females. His complaint said the district initially allowed Cernick to not use a transgender student's preferred pronouns on the grounds of religious objection, but then changed his position 2 months later. Cernick said he tried addressing students through gestures rather than names and pronouns. Eventually, he said the school sent a letter saying the workaround wasn't sufficient. The letter also warned him of refusal to follow the policy would result in disciplinary action, and 6 months later, the district declined to renew the teaching contract. He said, I had to go against my conscience and religious convictions in order to do what the school was saying. Cernick previously told Milwaukee Journal Sentinel, I didn't want to take part in promoting lies to kids or anybody. And so Abigail Sweats, executive director of FAIR Wisconsin, a statewide LGBTQ plus civil rights and political advocacy organization, said last summer that using pronouns affirming a child's gender identity are essential to their well-being and the only moral choice. Cernick, who also found employment elsewhere, said in a statement through his law firm, he will continue encouraging teachers to stand up for their beliefs. What are your thoughts? 833-212-1017. Was this teacher correct in following what they believed to be right and disagreeing with the school district and rolling out? Or did the school district violate his civil rights by making him do something and giving, I don't know, did they give the child more power than the teacher, or what? Would it have killed the guy to just simply call the kid, I don't know, he versus she, or like, I don't know. I know these types of fights are not over. And I find it interesting because the black community is significantly quiet about this particular topic. I'm interested in what you have to say. If you want to hit me on the talking text line, you know, nobody hear your voice. 833-212-1017 is the number.
And that is Dr. Ken's Truth on the new 1017 The Truth. Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
This is Sherwin Hughes from The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. And Truth Nation, you can now watch my show live on YouTube every day from 9 a.m. until noon. Yep, you can get 3 full hours of watching Sherwin doing his thing streaming live on YouTube Monday through Friday. You'll get the same insightful conversations about policy, politics, and lifestyle while also seeing my reaction to the unpredictability of our listeners. So go to YouTube right now, subscribe to 1017 The Truth, and see this wonderful smile live every day.
Donald Trump is out of control, stopping payments for health care and food for hungry kids, eliminating the Department of Education, and letting unelected billionaire Elon Musk fire anyone he wants and get access to your most private information. We need a Supreme Court justice who will keep them in check before they go too far. That's Judge Susan Crawford.
I'm Judge Susan Crawford. As a former prosecutor and now as a judge, I believe in protecting you, your family, and your right to privacy, and that women have the right to make their own decisions about their health care. Because to me, that's just common sense.
Donald Trump and Elon Musk are both backing Brad Schimmel. He'll do whatever they want. That's why we need Judge Susan Crawford, the common sense judge who will keep them in check. Judge Susan Crawford for Supreme Court. Paid for by Susan Crawford for Wisconsin. Crawford for WI.com.
Ready to buy your first house, move into your forever home, or simply refinance? At Associated Bank, they've got you. With the right lending plan and guidance, you can achieve your dreams. Your financial goals are closer than you think, and Associated Bank is excited to help you reach them. Learn more at associatedbank.com/lending or ask a banker for details. Subject to credit approval, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Make history at the amazing 10th annual UNCF Mayor's Mass Ball on March 29th. Join Mayor Cavalier Johnson for an unforgettable evening that will transform lives. Every dollar raised helps promising local students achieve their college dreams through vital scholarships. This premier gala doesn't just celebrate our community, it builds future leaders. Be a part of Milwaukee's most meaningful social event of the year. Reserve your place now at uncf.org/MMB. That is uncf.org/MMB.
Saving energy and money is easier than you think. Here are 2 simple things you can do to reduce your energy use and lower your energy bill. Use thermal curtains to reduce each room's energy loss by up to 25%, and make sure vents aren't blocked by furniture or rugs to improve airflow and comfort. Simple, smart savings. Get more energy-saving tips at WeEnergies.com.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. So when you Jose, when you try to get the book, type BOOKLIST1, like the number 1, all one word. Right? BOOKLIST1. All right? Just one word, the number 1, all together. One after the other. All right? Okay. Dr. Ken, you have been in Milwaukee longer than a lot of your coworkers have been alive. Yeah, I know. And so again, BOOKLIST1, BOOKLIST2, you got to send separate ones, BOOKLIST3, and BOOKLIST4. Got it? Did I even spell all of them right? I don't know. You'll get it. And you should be able to get it. If you don't, let me know. Fawn say I'm old school. A boy is a boy and a girl is a girl. Weirdo world we live in. Black folks used to participate in this. We should have stayed segregated. Black folks used to not participate in this. That's true. That is true. That is true. Let me check. Dun, 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 dun. Y'all silly. YouTube chat. YouTube chat. 833-212-1017 is the number. Reminding you of YouTube. You can stream and watch us on YouTube and at 1017thetruth.com. Just make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss a minute of a live show. Let me look up, because I've been talking for an hour and a half. Let me look and see all the stuff that I'm supposed to read that I didn't read. Oh, yeah. Truth Nation, it's time. It's the time of the year for the Tory Lowe Community Cleanup. Mark your calendar, Saturday, April 12th, 8 a.m. till noon. We'll be cleaning up the city of Milwaukee, also to show your appreciation. Everyone who joins gets a free lunch provided by Cousin Subs. Again, that's the Tory Lowe Community Cleanup, Saturday, April 12th, 8 a.m. to 12 noon. Bring the whole family to clean up our community and our city. The Tory Lowe Community Cleanup is presented by 1MKE. We are 1MKE and sponsored by Cousin Subs. So make sure you check it out. I told y'all how I felt about cleaning up the city last year, right? I pay taxes. I'm just saying. Will I support Tory? It depends on what I'm doing April 12th. I got to check my calendar. You know, my weekends are, my paradise time. So I got to chill. So so here's the kicker. So people are going from you're fired to you're hired. Officials return to work after judges halt some of the firings. So here's the problem. How you going to get paid when they cut the budget? Like, we are overspending, and I get it. We are overspending. Denise Thomas and I are going to be talking about that next Monday night on The Truth Unfiltered. We're going to look at Doge, and we're going to look at the bad stuff that Doge is doing. We're going to look at the good stuff that Doge is doing. But we need to start to remember that we are digging a hole for our kids, and they may not be able to get out of it. And I know you think it's okay because, I won't be alive when it happens. Hey, but your kids going to be mad at you. They're going to be like, hey, dude, what did you do? Like, what did you do? What are you doing? And I guess Van Jones is asking the same question. Van Jones is asking, and he basically said that, y'all tripping. Like, Van Jones is telling y'all, like, y'all doing stuff that don't make no sense. Like, you're doing things and you're messed up, and now you think you're going to fix all this stuff, and it's not going to get fixed. And the reason why it's not going to get fixed is because you don't understand that you don't have anybody in leadership that can step up and lead the Democratic Party. And we forget that, but we don't. There's nobody to lead the Democratic Party. Like, you're acting like Donald Trump didn't win. You're acting like the majority of people in America didn't vote for Donald Trump. And you better figure out who's going to run against him and win, because right now, Democratic Party ain't got nobody. They ain't got nobody black, white, Hispanic, Asian, Pacific Islander, male, female, zip. Nobody. So then what are you going to do? Like, what exactly are you going to do? The Democratic Party has no idea what to do. Sherwood even said it on his promo for his show. That's on Monday through Friday from 9 to 12 right here on 1017 The Truth. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. What are we going to do? What is the Democratic Party going to do? What are they going to do? Because it makes absolutely, positively no sense whatsoever. Now, before we go to break, I got this story from theroot.com that kind of threw me for a loop. Jayla Cunningham thought a hair client, she's a hairstylist, was trying to leave without paying for service. Now, it's all over, but it started on March 2nd. It went virus. Well, it is a virus. It went viral because a Maryland hairstylist dragged a teen client across a salon floor. And Jayla Cunningham, 18, is now facing a second-degree assault charge. In the clip of the altercation, Cunningham tells her 15-year-old client, sit right here until somebody sends it, evidently referring to the money for the appointment. I'm not effing playing. You just tried to effing run. You're lucky I ain't beat the blank out of you, Cunningham says. The video also showed Cunningham cutting the weave she had installed out of the teen's hair. An ex-user defended Cunningham. Y'all are adultifying and condemning Jayla because she is bigger and darker between the two of them. Are you kidding me? She is 18 years old. That means she's an adult. The teen's mom told local outlet Fox 5 that her daughter accidentally sent the money to the wrong account and she was trying to figure out how to fix it. She has since filed a charge against Cunningham. However, Cunningham insisted that the girl was trying to get out of paying her $150 bill. She said, forget trash. She ran without paying me, Cunningham said. I dragged her by her hair back into the salon until I could get paid or, until the police come or until, she let me take out the service because it's like she literally ran outside like she was about to be gone. You're talking a 15-year-old, right? Another ex-user stated that Cunningham went way too far. Anybody defending that unprofessional blank hairstylist dragging a 15-year-old, you're weird. Like, I know if she ran off, call the cops. What professional is dragging clients? The client's family since hired Jackson & Associates, a law firm in Upper Marlboro, to represent the teen. Attorney Deasia Thompson called the video of the assault horrendous. It's a 15-year-old girl. We're talking, here's what Thompson said, the lawyer. It's a 15-year-old girl. We're talking about someone's child here, a child being dragged across a salon floor by her jacket over something as simple as a mistake. Social media, and one of the social media personalities quipped that all this could have been avoided. She had a card on file that she could have charged after the girl said she didn't have the money. So I don't know. It's giving the stylist didn't think before taking action at all. It's as if she just did it. Well, that's kind of dumb. And so now she's facing charges. And with juvenile, mind you, with juvenile. When we come back, if you think that was bizarre, I got another story about a race that made absolutely no sense. And it was a high school race. Did you see it? And when you lose, what do? Well, right now you drag people across the floor because they won't give you money for hair. So what do you do if you actually are losing a race? And now with traffic on 1017 The Truth, Debbie Lazica.
Northbound on 43, slowing down from just before Fond du Lac Avenue all the way up to Keefe. The southbound side's got some backups basically from Keefe all the way down through the Marquette and over the high-rise bridge. Still seeing an accident on Fond du Lac Avenue northbound right underneath I-43 with the right lane blocked on Fond du Lac, so careful with that. And then southbound on 41, backing up from Appleton Avenue all the way down past Capitol Drive. There is an accident there off on the right shoulder affecting your ride. Other than that, westbound 94 slowing down from 25th all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Tonight, mostly clear, breezy, mild, a low of 40. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, cooler, breezy, a high of 44 early, and then into the upper 30s by the evening. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 101.7 The Truth.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You said you'd never buy your kid candy from the checkout aisle. Or forget extra diapers. And never give in to a meltdown. You'd never lick your thumb to clean their face. Never let them have too much screen time. And never bribe them for just one more bite. You say you'd never let them out in public without their hair brushed. Never, ever become a minivan mom. And you'd never give them your phone for a quiet dinner.
Calling boss work phone.
So when you say you'd never leave your child in a hot car, no, it can happen. Cars get hot fast, and kids can be at risk in temperatures as low as 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Never happens. Before you leave the car, always stop, look, lock. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
The award-winning 101.7 The Truth proudly celebrates Women's History Month. Listen to one of our incredible Truth teammates highlight the remarkable achievements of Black women throughout history.
What's up, Truth Nation? It's your girl, Noni Juice. And for Women's History Month, I want to highlight my girl, one of my faves, Issa Rae. Issa Rae, born on January 12, 1985, is a multifaceted talent in the entertainment industry. Best known for her role as the creator and star of the HBO series Insecure, Issa Rae has become a prominent figure in reshaping narratives around contemporary Black experiences. Born in Los Angeles, Issa Rae developed her passion for storytelling at an early age. Her journey to prominence began with the creation of the web series The Misadventures of Awkward Black Girl in 2011, showcasing her unique comedic voice and garnering a dedicated online following. This success laid the foundation for Insecure, a critically acclaimed series that premiered on HBO in 2016. Issa Rae's portrayal of the lead character Issa D resonated with audiences, earning her widespread acclaim. Beyond acting, Issa Rae is a trailblazing producer committed to amplifying underrepresented voices in the industry. She founded Issa Rae Productions, contributing to projects like A Black Lady Sketch Show and Little, showcasing her dedication to fostering diversity and inclusion. In addition to her impact on screen, Issa Rae has received numerous accolades for her contributions, including Golden Globe nominations and Primetime Emmy Awards recognition. Her influence extends beyond entertainment, making her a powerful force in shaping the cultural landscape. Issa Rae's career exemplifies resilience, creativity, and a commitment to breaking barriers. So thank you, Issa Rae, for paving the way and being a beautiful representation for young women like me in the entertainment industry and beyond. We know you're always down to root for everybody Black.
Tune in to The Truth as we celebrate the greatness of Black women all month long.
This Associated Bank Sports Update on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Kyle Wallace. The Milwaukee Bucks were in action last night as they hosted the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Milwaukee Bucks were looking to get back on the winning side after a defeat to the Orlando Magic on Saturday night. It went back and forth, and then in the fourth quarter, the Cavs took off, going on a 13-0 run to beat the Milwaukee Bucks 112-100. The Bucks were led in scoring by Giannis Antetokounmpo, who dropped 30 points. Now the Bucks travel to Indiana to take on the Pacers tomorrow night. Tip-off is set for 6:30, and you can hear that on our sister station, 620 WTMJ. Also, NFL free agency has begun today, and the Green Bay Packers have been silent. Crickets, no big news coming from the Green Bay Packers at all. This True Sports update on the award-winning 1017 The Truth were brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams. Member FDIC.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. So if you haven't seen this video, you need to go and just Google Virginia High School track and field stars attempt to get into first place during a race last Tuesday led an opponent to do something that I've never, ever seen in my entire life a person do when a person ran past them in a race. She hit her with the baton, causing head injuries. According to Brookville High School's junior, Kaylin Tucker, she's still waiting on an apology from the IC Norcom High School to apologize, her opponent. Tucker had just set a new State of Virginia High School League Class 3 indoor championship record in the 55-meter race on Monday. Girl ran like the wind. Poof. And she was hoping to help her team won the 4x200-meter relay final last Tuesday. However, in the heat of competition, got carried away a little too far by one opponent, as clear video evidence of the race shows Tucker getting struck in the head by a baton-wielding runner from Norcom, who also threw it in Tucker's direction after being passed. Tucker immediately ran off the track and fell down holding her head. So she said in an interview this past Friday, I was on a back curve, I kind of got cut off, and I tried to pass her the first time, so I let her go ahead. I knew when I got fully on the curve that I was just going to have to push through past her. So as we were coming up to the middle of the curve, arms were bumping, and so that happens a lot when you're running races, sometimes the arm bump. So I got a little more on the outside of the curve to go around her. When I finally pushed through to get in front of her, that's when she hit me in the head with the baton. So you can see the girl running, and she sees her pass her, and she reaches out and whacks her in the head. And then bumping during races, you know, it's kind of normal. But the whole section just kind of like, because, you know, her mother was in the, stands and watched this girl just literally whack her upside the head. Bam! And then when she didn't fall immediately, she threw the baton at her. And then she ran off the track and fell. Tamara, her mother, is a paramedic. So she was with her daughter down on the track. They think she might have a, concussion, probably a fractured skull, had to go to the doctor. Coaches didn't call, runner didn't call, school didn't call. No apology. No coaches, no athletes, no nothing. Even if it was an accident, which I don't believe it's an accident, but, this is what the mother's saying, but nothing. It's been more than 24 hours now, so I guess this was a major thing. My child was hurt, and nobody came to check on her. WSET ABC 13 asked the Tuckers if criminal charges would be pressed, and without giving a definitive yes or no, she explained their point of view. Of course, everybody gives their opinion on what they think you should do, but that's also somebody else's child, referring to the assailant. I want to take that into account as well. Yes, she definitely struck my child more than once, but she's somebody else's child as well. The family said a doctor visit on Friday revealed concussion symptoms as Kaylin continues to deal with headaches. There's also swelling around the area where she was struck and a possible skull fracture. Kaylin is not allowed on the track until she recovers from her injuries. The Tucker family reached out to the Virginia High School League, and they said they received a call back explaining that investigation is underway, and both high schools were cooperating. Why would her school need to cooperate? Like, really? No discipline has been announced for the incident. The VHSL does not comment on individual or disciplinary actions due to FERPA. You're using FERPA? That's on video all over the internet? The actions taken by the meet director to disqualify the runner were appropriate and correct. We thoroughly review every instance like this that involves player safety with the participating schools. The VHSL membership has always made it a priority to provide student athletes with a safe environment for competition. Clearly they didn't that day. They sure didn't do it that day. Kayla was asked about at the end of the interview from her home what she wishes to say to the opponent who struck her. Why did you do it, and why haven't you apologized yet? That's what she said. How do you hit somebody? Like, what? What kind of coaching did you get? Look. What kind of home training did you get? Now, why do you think this story went viral and made it? Anybody? 833-212-1007. Why do you think this story made it? Here's why I think. But I'm not going to tell you. I'm going to let you tell me. Because when we come back, I'm going to tell you why I think this story made it to the news.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
This is 1017 The Truth's Kyle Wallace, and the time is now, Milwaukee. Truth to Power is your platform, and on my show, our community always has a voice. There is no topic that is off limits, and I always give you my authentic opinions on how I feel, because keeping it real is the only way I know how to get down. Listen to Truth to Power with me, Kyle Wallace, every day from noon to 1 p.m. on the award-winning 1017 The Truth app, and streaming live on YouTube at 1017 The Truth. Milwaukee Black Talk.
We asked parents who adopted teens to share their journey.
Nathan has taught me to embrace the moment. Age-wise, I'm in my late 60s. I'm old enough to be his grandfather. Will he be embarrassed to acknowledge me as his dad? I think the most important thing we can do is let them know that they're safe, that they're valued and cared for and loved, and that they're important.
I knew I wanted to be adopted by him because of how he taught me to be the person who I am today. And it's coming from a dad that didn't expect to become a dad. And I feel very proud to be his son.
That was what he needed, and he was what I needed. Every day is full of new opportunities. That's what it's been about, realizing the simple things that it takes to make such a huge difference in these kids' lives.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care at adoptuskids.org. Brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Day 1, diagnosis day. The hardest day. The day you hear,
I'm sorry, this is a type of blood cancer.
But day 1 is just one day. At the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, we are here to help you move past day 1.
On day 45, I discovered an online community who shared great tips for in-treatment care.
I missed a lot of school during treatment, and LLS helped me keep up.
We are here for you. We exist for everyone fighting leukemia, lymphoma, myeloma, and other types of blood cancer.
On day 185, LLS helped me file my insurance claims properly.
Day 5,840 and counting, and I'm still in remission.
To learn more and get help on day 1, day 2, day 983, or any day, please visit LLS.org or call 1-800-955-4572. That's LLS.org, 1-800-955-4572.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too. And that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard. Aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
So what was it I was supposed to tell them? What was the story I was looking at? What was the thing? You remember?
You wanted to tell them why you believe this went viral.
Oh. Yeah, that's what I thought. Because it was 2 black schools. If it was 2 white schools, they'd be like, oh, that's terrible. She should apologize. And then it would have went away. It would have went viral. But when a black person does something wrong, it makes it all over. It's unfortunate, but you're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. The truth is coming up with Dr. Ken Harris and Denise Thomas. She hollered at me a lot, too. It was terrible. I felt so. Anyway, no, we had a good time, and make sure you check it out. And then after that, you'll have the Tori Lowe Show and on throughout the rebroadcast, so you can come here 22 hours from now for the best in Milwaukee Black Talk. I'm Dr. Ken Harris. Thank you, Glenn. Appreciate you. Hey, God bless. Take care. I'm out.
Hey, Truth fam, this is your girl, Melanie Ricks, and I want to remind you to tune into Nothing But the Truth digital show with me, Melanie Ricks, presented by Visit Milwaukee. Every Wednesday at 6 p.m., a new episode drops on the 1017 The Truth YouTube page. And since it is on YouTube, I hold nothing back. I give you all my hot takes on celebrity gossip and give you the tea on relationships that you don't want to miss. Subscribe to 1017 The Truth on YouTube so you never miss Nothing But the Truth digital.